Welcome back to the Australian Grand Prix for Season 4 of Formula FG. That is not a good sign. The rear of Rob Sharp's car just giving off everything it can. The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Pit at the end of this lap.
Shame there for Rob. We could have seen what he was capable of, but we won't in the end. Jednak now going to actually try to overtake Rinyaho under yellows, perhaps? I think it's a green section, actually. Does make it a little bit tricky. Nonetheless, we now see that Pablo Deal has pitted from second place for Falcon. He gets back underway as Nathan Korn's going to have a look down the inside here of Joel Rautavaara, and that is a simple move for the Raven West driver. He moves into second, but effectively he is leading the race. Rautavaara is still yet to pit after that extremely weird situation. He went off at the first corner avoiding Josh Nowak, and then seemed to be something wrong with the car. He couldn't get it back onto the track properly. Anyway, he is back underway. He is still in the race, which is a lot more than can be said for a couple of our drivers. We've had 2 retirements so far, and there's a far cry from last season, but of course it's only half distance. After about 75%, so somewhere around lap 44, 45, then I would expect to see some cars starting to give it up. Pretty much nothing has changed then through the top 10. Expecting to see some cars come in soon. Kadera is going to be running it rather tight, but he should be able to make it back safely. His teammate Mishra will be in this lap. As Rinyaho is expected to make up about 2 positions. Utsa should find himself back in the top 10 as well. He'll probably be fighting to the end of the race with Daniel Harvey. And then we do have Manolis Sigalakis, who is trying to catch up to the both of them. He is 8.9 seconds behind. Now then, Martins has been into the pit lane. Out he comes. Pablo Deal has been able to jump him. So the Brazilian does get into second place now for Falcon. It's his first race for the team, providing a fantastic car yet again. Kadera moves into 4th place. He has Martins right behind him. Amons looking menacing. As we are waiting for Rautavaara to pit, for Kadera to pit. So Haymans could be on here possibly for a podium on his debut. To think back, last season we of course saw a couple of podiums on debut. We saw Harry Costello finished 4th last season, did extremely well for himself. We also saw Nathan Corns on the podium here in Melbourne. He won the championship, won quite a few races as well, so this could be a sign of things to come. Matteo Haymans, possibly star of the future. He has got to get past Martins, however. He's got to keep himself away from Keranen and Saeed. Keranen especially looking quite menacing. Martins looking a little bit under pressure as Kadera will come in very low on fuel, very quick. Rautavaara should be coming in this lap. That is a little bit of, that is a fuel warning light. Don't worry, he's not retiring just yet. Very angry pack here. Effectively could well be fighting for the podium. Let's not forget Goddard is here as well. I would imagine that Rautavaara could well come out quite close to these guys. Maybe not. He'll probably be about... he'll be somewhere in between Goddard and Rinyaho. That's obvious, I think. probably about 5 seconds behind as Cadera has pitted. He's down to 14th then, so far. Nathan Corns holding 4 seconds over Yol Rautavaara, which we know isn't going to last. It's about to be a lot more than that. It's about to be 8 seconds. Only 8 seconds over Pablo Deal, in fact. That's actually a little bit closer than what I thought. So keep an eye on the Brazilian. He might have something up his sleeve. Rautavaara comes in. Deal will go through. Here comes Martins as well around the final corner. Leading Haymans, leading Kerrinan, Saeed, Goddard. And Rautavaara still stopped, so he'll only be coming out now. He might be a lot closer to Rinho than I first thought. He could be behind all of these guys. I think he might be. So from the lead of the race, he's ended up in 11th. Go on, Yol. Onto it, boy. Sigalakis, next car behind him. He will have to worry about the 2KF1 car. But that being said, he is on fresh tyres, and he has 21 laps to go to the finish. As we are here with Pablo Deal. I think he is actually perhaps losing time to Nathan Corns. We'll see as he comes across the line. Corns though looking in control. Finished second here last season for winning in China. To be able to do one better would be a fantastic achievement for him. Be fantastic for Raven West as well, but we are still 21 laps from the finish. For Deal, it would be bittersweet to know that the car that he could have been in is winning the race, but at the same time he's beating the second car of the car that he could have been in. So it's not all bad. And the second place on debut for Falcon. A team with some moderate success. I won't lie, but it did finish third in Season 2. Of course they won in Season 2, they won in Season 3. They're a very good looking team, they're a very strong team. As Martins is pulling away from Haymans. For Aaron Reed, it has not been a good day for him, that is for sure. Starting on the final row of the grid. Got into some strife as we do have a yellow flag. It's not Noah. Up, there we are. Ben Utsa. How far out was that? Everything's still fine here. And that's a transmission, and that thing has just stopped. Turn 11 and 12 there. Nothing that he can do, and that is the end of his race. Just stuck there. I imagine that'll be confirmed as being transmission any moment now. We're just waiting for the marshals to get to him. In the meantime, the drivers have to go crawling past him. It's cruel, if anything. There's Rautavaara here, having a look down the inside of Harvey. Oh, they've both collided. Harvey will go around. Rautavaara moves on. He doesn't really seem like he cares. It's just one of those days for him. Sigalakis moves into the top 10. Rugman into 11th. Kadera into 12th. McNamara will come through as well. Harvey, oh, he didn't get the car spun around properly. Burner goes through. There goes Mishra. There goes Yednak. There goes his teammate. Reed at the end will go by. And that's not really the direction you want to be going there, Dan. There we go. Onto the track you go, buddy. Oh, he'll be feeling dirty about that. He's tried so hard to get past Utsa all race. He gets gifted 10th position. He gets gifted the point. Rautavaara is having nothing of it, and he tells him, go back to where you belong. Of course, that's only judging on the grid. We know the DTK is a lot stronger in the race, so it's a bit harsh to say that, but no doubt that's what Rautavaara must be thinking. DTK, you know. You have the numbers 11 and 12 for a reason. Oh. Harsh. Savage, some might say. Back here with Pablo Deal, 2nd place. It's just looking like... I don't think he's going to have enough. Corns is just holding the same pace as he is, which is all that both of them need to do. Deal doesn't need to push anymore, because he's not going to catch. Corns doesn't need to do too much. That's just that. Heyman's, meanwhile, doing fantastic. He's pulling... He's not keeping up with Martins, but I think he's pulling away from Keranen. Keranen in 5th there. Saeed, still keeping him honest. Goddard, still a fantastic debut for him. In 7th place. Rinyaho holding down 8th. Would be a little bit disappointed at this point. Rautavaara in 9th. Actually, no, yeah, that is right. So, Harvey would have been in 9th. Take all that back. Which is actually even more disappointing for him, that he would have been in 10th. You know, he would have still been holding on to that point. And instead, he's now at the back of the field. Sometimes it's just not your day. Back to the front, here on board with Nathan Corns. Flying underneath the trees. Now starting to move around the lake. Oh, look at that, Rautavaara, fastest lap of the race. On 29.3. That's going to hurt. Especially if he holds on to that fastest lap, that is going to hurt. Deal now. Comfortably holding 2nd. Over 7.5 seconds to Martins. Caught up a little bit on Nathan Corns there. You know, let's not beat around the bush here. There is still a lot of time. There's about 18 laps. You make up 0.2 a second each sector. He's going to be right onto the back of Corns. So while I'm talking as if Corns has got this in the bag, which he more or less does, it's not quite over yet. Even I will admit that. And I mean, we're starting to get to that danger zone of when cars could just be dropping out left, right and centre. Back to Corns. Another fastest lap of the race for Rautavaara. He's got something to prove. He's 3 seconds behind Tapio Rinyaho. Gets to 8th place. I'm not sure he's going to be able to do much more than that, but if he's doing those sort of lap times, anything is possible. There is still a long enough to get back towards about 5th place, I would imagine. Does seem that he does have the car underneath him as well. briefly there with Nathan Corns, but we'll go back to Sasha Yednak. It's got Reed just behind him. Battle of which car is the better yellow one. We got the really deep, strong yellow. Some, perhaps in their own weird way, think it's orange. That's okay. That's up to them. Hi, Toby. It's definitely yellow in my eyes. It's just it's a deep yellow. It's a wattle yellow. It's almost like a golden yellow. Actually, I don't think wattle yellow is. Forget I said that. More of a golden yellow, and the DTK quite a bright yellow. Which one is the better one? We shall find out today. Here with Martinson, he's pulling away from Heymans with ease. Here is Reed. Unable to get by just yet. Back to Martin. Definitely not much happening at this point of the race. Fine deal here, who hasn't gotten any further away from Martins. And has actually ended up losing time to Nathan Corns. What do you know? We'll go back and have a little bit of a look ourselves. Heymans here. Pulled away quite well from Keranen, who in turn has pulled away from Saeed. Goddard just on the back of this. About the same distance behind Saeed as Saeed is behind Keranen. Keranen a bit further behind Heymans. So they're all spaced out nicely. Here is Rinyaho. His fellow Finn in Rout of Ara just behind. Two of the most successful drivers in Formula FG. Both Finns, see what they can do. Rout of Ara there. That menace in matte black and chrome silver apex. Down the inside of turn 13, unable to get it done. Gave it a good opportunity. Had a fantastic run, and he is all over the back of Rinyaho. Now down the straight. Down the inside of Rinyaho, he brakes late, takes the apex. Rout of Ara through. Fantastic move there on Rinyaho, who holds 10 seconds over Manolis Sigalakis, and I'm not sure that's going to change too much. Toby Cadera holding 12th. That's where he started. Don't think he might move up a little bit. He seems pretty well rooted into 12th there. He's not going anywhere. McNamara a little bit behind him. Then Burner, second JHR of Mishra. Yednak still holding back Reed. Noak trying to get in on it as well. Harvey in 19th, and he's the final runner. Before we have Nathan Corns. As we are now into that red zone of the race. Of course, for anyone new to Formula FG, you might think, what are you talking about? Like, okay, fair enough, but why at this point of the race? The majority of Formula FG races are 75% race distance, so somewhere around 225 kilometers of racing. And we normally see most cars be quite fine in making that. In Season 1, we saw quite a few 75% races in a row. Everything was fine. We made it to Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. Once again, everything was fine in that race. Right up until we got to 75% race distance, and then there was just cars dropping out left, right and centre. So, since then it has been in the back of my mind, after 75% race distance, you do tend to see a little bit more. They just struggle to make the end. However, it is the first race of the season, all the parts are new. Parts should have been tested, but they are new. You would imagine that there won't be too many failures. They'll be ready to go to 100%. Whereas next round when we're at Malaysia, and into the 75%, and yeah, the parts should make that relatively easily. It won't be too much of a problem. So, with that, keep your eyes out. This is when it's most likely to see some cars just letting everything go. We did see Season 1 here. We saw a couple of cars in the last 5-6 laps retire. Wasn't too bad a day though. Last year we just saw cars going out throughout the entire race. That was an interesting one for sure. Pablo Deal here. 8.5 seconds to Rui Martins. He's pulling away. He is not gaining on Nathan Corns, however. About just under 12 laps to go to the finish. That does seem to have been sorted out. But looks at the telemetry, Donald Brugman is catching on to the back of Noah Sigalakis. Jaws Audi versus 2KF1 Cosworth. Back with Corns. To the front straight he comes. That will be 11 to go. We'll go back and we'll have another look, and Heyman's still holding strong. 1.5 seconds from Karanen, who holds a second back to Saeed. Holds 2.5 back to Goddard. We'll have a look now, just see if that's changed at all. You'd imagine it sort of has, sort of hasn't. Ratavara there in the background. He is definitely catching up to that group. He'll be on to Goddard quite quickly, I'd imagine. Rinho being left behind there. We'll go further back and we'll see Sigalakis and Brugman, who's down under a second behind the Greek driver. Cadero as well, not too far behind either. He's in for a chance of points here should these two trip over each other, which is a very realistic possibility. And Ratavara is catching every sector to the back of Goddard. He'll then have his teammate to get past. Could be a little bit tricky. Karanen, then Heymans. He's not going to get anywhere near to the back of Rui Martins. There's absolutely no chance of that. But he could go closer. And you never know. Could be a retirement. Or two from him. So we'll have a look in the moment. Goddard's going to come across the line very soon. Having done 130.8 compared to Ratavara's 129.6. Yol is on the move. And he's got rookie Goddard in his sights. Not only that, Saeed is getting in on the act as well. He's catching up to Keranen. Heyman's not able to completely pull away. He's actually lost a bit of time himself. He's lost time to Keranen. Kerenen's lost time to Saeed. Front three seem to be moving just fine. Here you can see 4th back to 8th. Heyman's just pulls out a little bit there. Keranen struggling to keep up a little bit. Saeed latching onto the back of the Razor. Onto the main straight now. What can Saeed do? Is he going to be close enough? I'm not sure he will be. What's Keranen going to do? It's 1.2 to Heyman's, 0.6 back to Saeed. Goddard losing a little bit of time, and he's losing a little bit of time to those ahead of him. He's losing a lot of time to Rautavaara behind him, as we've started lap 50 now. Break the half century. Grigniho behind. Sigalakis has Brugman all over the back of him now. They're staying close as well. McNamara not too far behind, but I don't think he'll be getting anywhere. Burner now. He'll have Mishra. Yet an accident there. He's pulled away a little bit there from Reed, so it seems that the deeper yellow is the better yellow. Noah, Harvey. Then we get back to Corns. And a long way back to D. 8.8 seconds. Catching up a little bit. It's a little bit too late, as Heymans has pulled away substantially here from Keranen and Saeed, who I think Saeed may have had a lunge at Keranen. That's the only... Yeah, he's a long way behind there. All the important bits. Oh, he's just caught up substantially through the high-speed chicane, I'm guessing. Yeah, Keranen taking a very shallow line for pretty much no reason. Saeed onto the back of him. Keranen having to defend yet again into turn 13. And more than anything, that's just going to slow those two down when it comes to catching Heymans. You can see they're out to 1.9 behind the Belgian. Keranen and Saeed. Even Goddard caught up a little bit there. More than anything, it's going to allow Rautavaara to get a couple more easy positions, I'd say. And definitely for Saeed, he's probably going to want to... Oh, as we get a yellow flag. Yep, it's happened at the first corner. It's Brugman and Sigalakis. Brugman long way down the inside there. Oh. Have a look from on board. Goes straight into the side of Sigalakis. Shimmying down towards the corner. Off the course he goes. He stays straight, which is rather important. Kadera now right onto the back of him as a result of all that. So that's really put a pipe in Brugman's works. He'll have McNamara right behind him. Probably not the first car he wants to be seeing again. Sigalakis. Kadera right behind him. Can Kadera do anything? Steal a point off the more favoured, you would say it just based on the car, more favoured opponent. I say that as Sigalakis almost pulling away a little bit just there. back towards the front. Keranen holding out Saeed. Heymans has bolted. He is gone. He doesn't want anything to do with it. Keranen is still holding back Saeed. Goddard has Ratavara right on the back of him. He hasn't really got a choice anymore. Here comes Yol. Pulls out of the slipstream. And, well, this job is almost done already. Gets the job done very easily. Yol into 7th place. He now chases down Saeed. Saeed really wants to get past Keranen as quickly as possible before his teammate catches up to the back of him, because, well, Yol could well get past him. He could well get past him quite easily. And who knows, there might be team orders they might tell him to move across even. You don't know. It's Grand Prix 4, you doubt it, but you don't know. Up front, and we still have no problems for the leaders. Hablo Deal, 2nd place, holding it on. Bree Martins. Heymans got himself some really important fresh air between him and Keranen. Saeed's still trying to put pressure on the Australian. Ratavara just catching up so easily. Goddard has been left behind, but you should think that 8th place will be secured by him. Oh, just look at this. Keranen catching up a little bit to Heymans. It's not really all that much. Saeed can't catch up quite enough to the back of the Australian, and it's allowing Rautavaara to be just a second behind. Oh, but the BMW engine has given up in the Razor. And as it spews all its oils out over the front of Saeed's car, that'll be the end of Keranen's race. Oh, and it may well be the end of Goddard's as well. The rookie Argentinian not really paying attention there. We've got the replay already. You can see the car moving slowly there. Oh, give him some room. That will be painful for the both of them. Keranen especially. Just, I mean, you know, you don't want to... You're in 5th place, home Grand Prix, 1st of the season. Oh, and all of a sudden you're going a lot faster than what you were before. Didn't quite catch up with the front right wheel there. So Keranen there out twice effectively. And he's done. Sigalakis will get past. Cadera is going to get into 10th as a result. He's going to have to hold off McNamara. He's gotten past Brugman. It's 3.4 seconds with 5 laps remaining. I think Cadera should be able to hold that with relative ease. And there you go. So I mentioned about 5-6 laps to go, 75 race distance. All of a sudden that engine didn't look like it was doing anything wrong, and pop. I mean, none of them ever really do look like they're doing anything wrong, but definitely not that one. As Goddard will have to go into the pits for a new front wing. Saeed gives up his position to Rautavaara. Rautavaara back into 5th place. Rinho going to move into 7th. Goddard is in 8th currently. He's got to traverse down the pit lane. Sigalakis should get an extra position, as will Cadera. So I think Cadera could be pretty much... Lock him in for points. Lock it in, Eddie. He's got this one. I'm calling it. Unless that Mugen Honda engine decides to give up. Which... well, it might. I won't. It might. Brugman down into the first corner. He's right behind McNamara. This is now a battle for points. Once again, Brugman having to chase down a 2KF1 to get into the points. Goddard now, he's come out in 12th place. Oh, massive shame for him, but he really should have kept his eye on the road a little bit more. You can't really blame anyone else but him. There's a little bit of a tap there from Mishra, who in turn he'll lose a little bit of pace. Goddard just going to pull away a little bit as a result. He's going to have fresh tyres, so he'll be happy about that. Berner chasing down Mishra. Jednak right in the back. Reed there as well. Nice little battle pack there forming. Brugman and McNamara now. Jaws and 2KF1. As there goes Brugman having a look down the inside of turn 13. Can't get it done. Cadera not giving up on Sigalakis. And Rautavaara, look at that. He's bolted from Said. Can you say that there's not enough time to catch Haymans? I'm not sure. 30.539 first sector versus 30.037. Anything's possible. Oh, first corner, it's Cadera. And, well, that's actually a wheel going flying as well. Cadera here looking on the back of Sigalakis. He'll pull out. Down towards the first corner. Actually touches before anything really happened. You can see Sigalakis just drove away like nothing happened. Oi! Back live, and Brugman has no wheel. Cadera has no wing. To the first corner. Oh, he's behind the 2KF1 car and he just can't see exactly where Cadera is. I mean, as McNamara slows. Oh, McNamara, you would have thought that McNamara, he would have been following McNamara's line a little bit there. Wouldn't have expected the Australian to go that close to Cadera. From on board here, you can see. Really, oh, Brugman, you can't blame anyone. It's a shame. Cadera is going to be absolutely fuming in that helmet. It's going to see points just slip away as a result. That's going to be giving Goddard the chance to get points for Black Box in the end anyway. You can see he's catching up. He's got a lot more speed than Cadera does at the moment. What a shame for the German. You feel for him through all that. You feel for anyone that retires or has incidents this close to the finish. Korn still holding the lead. Deal in second. Martins. Haymans. Rautavaara is closing in on him quick, and there's still 3 laps to go for him. Saeed, Harinyaho, Sigalakis, McNamara, both the 2KF1s have gotten into the top 10 somehow. Goddard has already gotten past Cadera. Mishra is right onto the back of the Argentinian. He's pushing for points anyway for JHR. Berner going to begin an extra position. Brakes early, gives room. Doesn't know what Cadera can do, and in goes Toby Cadera. Tough day for the multiple F1 champion. Jednak now. Up against Berner. He's going to find it hard to get past something that wide. But I mean, at the same time, it's going to be hard for Berner to keep that on the track. Jednak and Reed now. Reed down the inside of turn 3. Can't quite get it done. Not quite far up. Not quite far enough up, indeed. Harvey there. Getting shown blue flags. Corns is just behind. Deal Martins. Cadera will come out in the end. Well, he can argue he was the 4th car across the line, I guess. There's Haymans. 2 laps to go for Haymans and Rautavaara. And it is on. Rautavaara is menacing. That car looks fantastic and it has some speed in it. What would have happened had he not gone off the track and along the wall and all this and all that? what would have happened? You're roundabout. Rinyaho holding 7th. It's going to be a fantastic return for Falcon at this point. Sigalakis and McNamara, don't think they would complain too much, to be honest. Goddard, I don't think he's allowed to complain, as he does the fastest lap of the race, in fact, for the black box. Mishra. He's in 11th. Don't think he's going to be able to get anything. Having to think of what I was doing there. Nathan Corns. Pablo Deal has actually ended up catching up a little bit, but 7.3 seconds behind. It really doesn't make a difference. Not at this point. It's the last lap. Corns just got to make it around. Deal and Martins, fantastic efforts by them. As Rautavaara has got past Matteo Heymans. It's been a fantastic debut for the Belgian, but in the end, the sheer class of Rautavaara, fresh tyres, strong engine, fantastic car. Straightforward pass. And we will go further down. Jednak still having to defend from Reed. This ongoing fight for the greater yellow still going on. Noack might want in. He would say, yes, red and orange. Reed under brakes, can't find a way through. There is Harvey. Here comes Nathan Corns, though. Just a handful of corners to go. He goes through turn 13. And he'll go through turn 14 as well. It's been a fantastic day for the defending champion. He comes back. He moves teams. New engine, new team. Who cares? Same old driver. Nathan Corns comes onto the final straight, and he will win the Australian Grand Prix for Season 4.
Fantastic try. Great job.
As in front of him, the race goes on. Harvey, well, I'm assuming Jednak. Yeah, Jednak and Reed have hit each other. A little bit of a touch there. Jednak will come back on. Noak's laughing. He gets free positions. Harvey is going to take up the fight that his teammate was against the back of Jednak. Reed not able to get going again. Jednak holds position. Deal in that time has finished the race, as has Rui Martins. A double podium there for Raven West. They get their first ever win in Formula FG. The first since, for that squad, you could argue, since Germany Season 1. Tim Engbrink for Speedy.
We're in the point.
Rautavaara, Heymans,
Well done.
fantastic debut for him and for DCT with 5th place. Omar Saeed in 6th. Rinyaho will come across the line in 7th. He'll be a little bit disappointed with that. Manolis Sigalakis starting 17th. He'll come across in 8th. James McNamara, he'll do... Well, he started 10th and ended up at the back. And he's now 9th. Main Goddard will take the final point then for Black Box in 10th. Sorry about that. And Mishra will come across the line then in 11th place, just ahead of Stefan Berner in 12th. Josh Noack ends up getting 13th, gifted to him. Jednak, Sasha Jednak, in his first race, comes across in 14th, ahead of Daniel Harvey. Aaron Reed will be the final finisher on the lead lap in 16th, I believe. Toby Cadera was 17th. I may have gone straight over the top of him. But it's all Nathan Corns then. First race of the season. He will win. Confirmation there by 6.8 seconds ahead of Pablo Deal. Rui Martins in 3rd place for a double podium for Raven West. They take the lead of the championship. They were looking good a few times last season, but they've finally been able to hold onto it this season. Yoel Rautavaara then in 4th. Could have been so much more. but 31 seconds behind Nathan Corns. Will never really know what he could have done this race. Matteo Heymans, 33 seconds behind 5th place. Fantastic debut. Him and DCT no doubt will be over the moon with that result. He was just ahead of Omar Saeed in the second apex. Great first race back for him. Tapio Rinjuho. Well, you know, he started 5th, he's gone down to 7th. It could have been worse in the end, I guess. Still gets himself a handy amount of points, no doubt the team will be happy with that as well. Manolis Sigalakis in 8th, James McNamara in 9th, the two KF1s. Probably didn't live up to the potential that they could have had this race. Main Goddard in his first race, he'll take 10th. Fantastic result for him. Behind that, Orjid Mishra, the JHR, in 11th, ahead of Stefan Berner in the NTEC. No points today for NTEC. They'll probably be a little bit disappointed with that in the end, but they've got a new car, engine slightly different, being Tier 1 as opposed to Tier 2 this season. They have things to get used to, and so at the end of the day, 12th, probably about right, especially starting 22nd. Josh Nowak was 13th in the second DCT, ahead of Sasha Yednak in the second black box. Then we had both DTKs, Daniel Harvey and Aaron Reed, especially after that last lap tangle. Toby Kadera, 1 lap down, was in the points, and yeah, he had a rampant Donald Brugman go into him, taken off the front wing, taken Brugman out of the race on the spot. Some things you just can't help. Aidan Keranen in his first race back, 6 laps down, retired with engine failure, and also there was a wheel shed off his car in a collision just after that. Ben Utzer in the second race had a transmission failure somewhere in the middle of the race, and Rob Sharp was, of course, our first retirement of the season. Oh, sorry, second retirement of the season. Oil leak in the NTEC, and it was Jack Lasky in the other Jaws who had an oil leak as well, and he did not make it to the finish. Fastest lap of the race will go in the end to Main Goddard in the black box, just ahead of Toby Kadera. Couldn't quite get it. Both, of course, had to pit late in the race to replace front wings, so not a surprise. Yoel Rautevar, of course, had fantastic pace. Aaron Reed, guess at the end of the day, you'd argue he more or less had the fastest lap of the race. No, I think you'd argue Yoel Rautevar, because he did pit on time. And lastly, we'll have a look at the lap chart. Rautevar, right, if we look at corners, it would have been right here. When he dropped down, couldn't do anything about it. Could not do anything about it. Just kept falling down to there, but then made his way back up, and fantastic job. Nathan Corns there. Rui Martin's a bit of an up and down race, as with Pablo Deal, who ended up getting the better of his Raven West counterpart. Rinjuho there, you can see, dropped down, came back up. 2 black boxes, Yednak down to the back of the field quite quickly, along with James McNamara, and they're quite different between the two. They came together again somewhere around here. McNamara ended up making much better use of his speed, as did Sigalakis in the second car. Saeed had a quiet race, slowly making up spots. More or less, I think that'll be all. And yeah, with that, what a fantastic start to the season. Season 4, I think, will be a great season to be a part of. Again, if I pronounced your name wrong, I apologise. It'll take some getting used to it once again, but we'll get it done. And yes, next race will be at Sepang. Can't confirm exactly how it will look just yet, but keep it in mind. We're looking at options to see what's possible. And yeah, What a superb race. Nathan Corns turns up yet again. Different team, doesn't matter. The champion is back. We'll see if he can take the season by the horns just like he did last season. With that, everybody, I thank you so much for watching, for being a part of it all. And we will see you next time. Thank you and good night.